You know, Sean, Martin Luther King Jr. would have been 92 today. This is the 92nd anniversary of his birth in Atlanta, Georgia. And if you are curious to learn a little bit more about him, or perhaps just the history of African Americans nationally, or even here in the Valley, you might want to reach out to the Las Vegas Clark County Library. They have a lot more information than you might imagine.
Absolutely. And here's somebody that knows just a thing or two. That's Chantel Clark. She's a branch manager with the West Las Vegas Library. It's great to have you. How are you?
It's great to be here. Thank you. I'm excited to talk about my favorite thing, which is the library. So excited to be here.
People that work at the library, honest to goodness, I have some friends that are librarians. Man, you will not find a more dedicated bunch. And honestly, thank you for the hard work you do.
Thank you.
Let's talk about it. Obviously, a very important day and a very important time. We're also going to be entering Black History Month next month as well. Let's talk about the kind of materials that we can find that kind of document the story of Black people in America.
So what's really great about the Las Vegas Clark County District is that we have such a wealth of materials. So if you look at us from an entire district, you can get all kinds of print, DVDs. We have a wonderful selection of ebooks and audiobooks, as well as some really great databases. A couple of my favorites are the African American Heritage, and that you can do a genealogical research on, and the African American Historical Serial Collection. But what makes West Las Vegas really special is that we house really specific materials on Black history with a focus on Black history in the West and Nevada. So you can come in, you can see the materials. And one of the things that really excites me, and something I've never seen before, was that most of our materials, and there's about 1,500 of them, you can check out, which is very rare for special collections. Usually they're in the library. You have to hang on to them. You have to, use them under the watchful eye of me or another librarian. But people get to take these materials home and really immerse themselves in it. And so that's really exciting.
Yeah, that is exciting. I mean, the idea of learning the history specifically in this region, I think is really interesting too. So this special collection you're talking about that people can check out, it is at the West Las Vegas Library. You're located where exactly?
We're in the historical west side, right off Lake Mead and Martin Luther King Boulevard. We're right sandwiched in between Doolittle and right across the street from Rainbow Dreams Academy. So we're really well positioned. You can't miss us if you're driving down Lake Mead.
It's really important to be able to take a look at these collections, whether you're Black, white, Hispanic, really doesn't matter your background, just to kind of learn how we got to the place we are today. Tell us about the history here in Las Vegas, especially when it comes to the Black community.
Well, I'm still, as I mentioned, I'm still a little bit of a newbie to Las Vegas, but what Las Vegas has a very interesting history. It has a very interesting where the Las Vegas Library is has a very interesting history. From what I've kind of learned in talking to people and doing research is that there was in kind of its heyday, Las Vegas kind of had two sections for entertainers. They had the Strip where the Black performers could perform, and then they had to stay elsewhere. And so there was a whole
be at the place they were performing.
So there was a whole infrastructure on the historic West Side where performers would come and stay. They would have their own casinos, that kind of thing. And so the Moulin Rouge, and we have some materials that document that. So it's very different from, some of the Southern Black history. It's very unique. So if you want to learn more about it, come to the West Las Vegas Library and we can pull some materials for you and help you find out a little more.
Well, it's so neat to actually be able to come in and when you're researching a specific topic, to be able to find, a whole myriad of materials on it. And Chantel, we want to welcome you. We know you've been in the Valley here for like 3.5 years from Minneapolis. I've just got a couple of years on you, but welcome to the community.
Thank you. And, I'm here to stay.
Good.
She doesn't want to shovel anymore. I don't blame her. Yeah.
Nope.
I've been in Minneapolis once. And it was it was January. It is.
We're not showing our best self in January.
No. It was very cold. When I was there working at inside a hockey place for an ice skating event. And when you're going in there to warm up, that's how you know it's kind of cool.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
Really quite an opportunity to go to the West End Library and see what it is that you have to offer. And if you don't have a library card, my goodness, Las Vegas Clark County Library District makes it very simple. And do you have the Golden Knights card still?
We do have the Golden Knights
Ooh.
cards. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I think it's still our most popular card.
Should be.
So we have them on hand. We always order a lot of them, and we can make you a card in probably under a minute. It's
Sweet.
very easy. Yeah.
Well,
And
make it nice
Chantel,
and simple.
in this collection, on the same subject of the Black history in the Valley, is there anything for kids?
Yes, that's actually one of the things that we have a lot of materials related to children by African American authors. And it's really funny that you mentioned that, because one of the projects we're hoping to work on in 2021 is to make a kind of a youth special collections with our special collections staff. They're very knowledgeable in it. They recommend it to our patrons a lot, but we'd really love to have a dedicated section the same way we do for our adult materials. And there are some materials filed into our adult special collections that pertain to children, but there's so much great writing happening right now and modern African American literature that we really want to highlight that in our youth section.
Fantastic. Well, keep up
Thank
the
you for
incredible
sharing
work.
this.
And,
Absolutely.
Resource.
Definitely. If you don't have your library card, get on it. Get a start and find
Yes.
a library near you, especially the West End Library. Check it out at lvcc.org.
Yes, come check us out.
You heard her. Go check her out right now. And if you want to see this segment again, you go to our website, lasvegasmorningblend.com.